became even stronger.
Really?
But the emergence of ISIS did wake up a lot of people to the challenges we're facing here, because so many European born and raised Muslims went over to join ISIS. And of course, think about it in this sense, the most infamous and notorious execution cell that I think were erroneously called the Jihadi Beatles in the press, because actually it really does, it's an insult to the Beatles, but it also diminishes the true horror of these guys. You know, they called him Jihadi John, but the ISIS executioners, basically, that entire cell of the media face of ISIS execution cell were all British Muslims. And that should tell you something, that we've got the worst terrorist group.
Educate. I mean, the thing is,
at university graduate.
Like every variable that the far left wants to marshal to explain this phenomenon, like lack of educational opportunity, lack of economic opportunity, lack of social integration, mental illness. Like you can find people who had massive opportunity. I mean, like you were. I mean, you weren't a jihadist, but you were an Islamist. But I mean, you're a person who can basically play any game he wants. I mean, you're like he's somebody who
back to the Superman thing.
He can run for political office. He hasn't been elected yet, but he should be. I mean, this is the quarterback of the football team in this context is a candidate for recruitment to ISIS.
Think of it this way. We've got the worst terrorist group in our lifetime. One can reasonably say is ISIS. Right? The worst terrorist group, at least in living memory, is ISIS. And the worst cell in ISIS, the execution cell, came from a fully developed, for want of a better term, first world country, and that was Britain. And Mohammed Amwazi, the leader of that execution cell, graduated from the University of Westminster, was given, as a young child, was given political asylum by Britain because his family were Kuwaiti and they fled the invasion of Kuwait by Saddam Hussein, the country that the West liberated, and he turned against that country. So he had every reason to like Britain. Britain gave him a home, gave him actually physically bricks and mortar house, gave his family on social costs, they gave him social housing. They educated him, he graduated from university, and they liberated his father's country from an aggressor. And this man turned against this country that helped him and his family and his nation.
Was he captured, or did he die?
Oh, he's dead. One of them has been captured, but he's currently being held